OMT Online Dynasty. Welcome back, everybody. Our Week 11 game of the week here in beautiful Hattiesburg, Mississippi. We have a Sun Belt Conference matchup here for you today. Our conference leader, G-Moss, in his Georgia Southern Eagles, taking on Star in his Southern Miss Golden Eagles, who are fighting to keep their conference hopes alive here today. Now, Georgia Southern, we have seen on some game breaks, some halftime highlights and things, very high-powered offense using that Arkansas playbook. Stud quarterback Tavito Wynn is going to be leading the way for them. His plethora of weapons, he will be spreading that ball out to here in this one. But the big question for Georgia Southern is, can their defense keep up with that high-paced veer and shoot offense we're going to see out of Southern Miss? They'll be in the Texas State version of the veer and shoot here today. In their two games before this one, the Golden Eagles put up 42 and 37 points, trying to make the case for their own star quarterback Kamario Taylor, making a late season Heisman push. A win here against a team like Georgia Southern would certainly go a long way for that bid. And we've got a lot of offense for you in this one. Over 1,000 combined yards between these two teams, over 100 combined points. Absolutely wild ride for this week. If you've never seen one of these before, this is our 32 user online dynasty. We all took group of 5 teams rated 2 stars or below. We are in week 11 of season 5, 4 custom conferences, 8 teams in each with a relegation system in place. So the top 2 in most conferences will get to move up. The bottom 2 will be moving down, trying to find a good competitive balance. Georgia Southern looking to be in a good spot to earn that promotion up to the American Conference, and Southern Miss still has an outside shot, but they have to get that win here today. So that is going to be our main event. At halftime, we're going to have highlights of UTSA and App State. So that one, also in the Sun Belt Conference, a very weird game. It's hard to really capture the flow of it in highlights, but we will go over that one. Hawaii and Texas State, a great Conference USA matchup. Army and FIU in the American, and Sam Houston and San Diego State also in the Americans. We'll go over all those at halftime. No halftime performance for you this week, but I know Vancy is in the lab cooking up some things for us to potentially have for future halftime. So I think that covers everything we have to do at this point. Oh, actually, I will mention, if you are interested in joining the online dynasty here in the future, that is all going to be done through the Discord. The link for that is down in the description below. I have a post up on the channel about it here as well. We do have a wait list of about 30 people as of right now. So it will take some time before a spot opens up for you, but just make a post, tag me, DM me, somehow let me know you want on the wait list. When your spot comes up, I will DM you right back. How it works, you will have to take, if it's the middle of the season, you do have to take the team of the person that left because of the custom conferences, schedules, all that kind of stuff. But you're always welcome to change teams during the off season as long as they're currently rated 2 stars or below, and in real life are in the group of 5. So I think now that fully covers everything. Let's go take a look at the depth charts. First, let's start with Star and his Southern Miss Golden Eagles. And it is going to be quite the swing from last week. We had Tulsa and Louisiana, 2 teams in our top Mountain West Conference. These teams in the bronze. Southern Miss, who has gone through coaching just turmoil. It's either them or Fresno State, who has had the most users throughout our essentially 5 years at this point. It's hard to get too much going when there's that much coaching change going on, but Southern Miss, like we mentioned at the beginning there, superstar quarterback here with Kamario Taylor. I'm actually going to check their Heisman standings. I think he's in the lead, or I think he's in second behind San Diego State running back Cortez Haddad. But 88 overall, magician, option king, shifty, sidestep, workhorse, star dev, freakish quarterback to have on a 76 overall team. Guy is an absolute monster. At halfback, speaking of absolute monsters, Vernon Daly, 6'3", 183 pounds, safety valve and takeoff. I'm wondering if this might have been a converted gadget or a wide receiver or something, but 91 overall, 99 speed, 99 excel. Like this guy was created in a lab or something. Unbelievable halfback, unbelievable backfield for Southern Miss to pair him with that Kamario Taylor. At wideouts, we are going to have Josh Bethea, 5'11", but platinum cutter, platinum double dip, layout, and sure hands, 91 speed. Then a bit of a drop off after that. Saquon Chansey, cutter and double dip, 5'10", only 86 speed. Frank Edabali from Olive Branch, Mississippi, of course, cutter and double dip, only 84 speed. So we got the one really good receiver with that star dev. Again, this kind of ties into having all those different coaches, all these different people recruiting. Sometimes it's even been up to the CPU. We haven't had a CPU team for a while, but still, all those different, too many cooks in the kitchen, and you never really can get a good solid base going. So I think that's kind of what's been happening with Southern Miss, but we can see Star has put together some really good building blocks for this team. He's got some great playmakers, especially here at tight end. Now, he's only 6'1", 204, so again, it might be somebody who's converted from something else, but a bronze 50-50, 87 overall, 85 speed. In Texas State, it depends on how you want to run the beer and shoot on how much you're going to be using your tight end. So we will see how Southern Miss does it. And offensive line, we got a quick step there. See, this is more like, this is more my speed. This looks more like the Old Dominion offensive line compared to some of those other Mountain West teams that we've got to go up against. Defensively, so 76 overall across the board. See if we got any abilities on our defensive line other than Workhorse, which is apparently just the easiest ability in the world to get. We've only got one Sam linebacker, Gregory Craig, 6'2", 80 speed. At Mike, we got 83 speed. Michael, his last name, it made me want to rhyme it. Michael Esquivel. I will say it like that. Knockout, house call, and robber on that 6'1". Mike linebacker, and only one Will linebacker as well. Awful thin linebacker core here at Southern Miss. Corners, though, look at these top two. Ezekiel Owuze, 6'1", bronze house call, 96 speed. Then right behind him, Felix Keys, 6'2", 94 speed. So those outside corners looking very, very good here for Southern Miss. Gonna come in handy against an offense like Georgia Southern's. And there's gonna be multiple times in this game. I'm gonna get it out of the way now. I'm gonna get upset with Star and Southern Miss on the defensive side of things for just not guarding a drag route. I didn't watch the full game. I saw bits and pieces of it. I watched a decent chunk of the fourth quarter, but the amount of drags given up was driving me insane. So I may say some things. I don't mean any of it personally. I'm just putting it out there. I may say a few things. Up at free safety, Terrence Rook, 6 foot tall, 93 speed. So really, I mean, so our strong safety's kind of lacking, and we don't really have a corner 3, but corners 1 and 2 and our free safety, that's a good base for a secondary. That quarterback, that halfback, that wide receiver 1, a good base of an offense. A lot of good things that Southern Miss has put together on the field here. Let's go take a look at Georgia Southern, GMOS, and his just regular Eagles. And also, just if it comes up, we could do some live cut-ins, some actual like game breaks of, because right at this time, as I'm recording this, we do have Buffalo taking on Navy in a Conference USA matchup. Buffalo, Navy, let me talk about Navy first, just took over the Midshipmen last week, got themselves a big win against, that's the wrong screen, a big win against Georgia State, who was leading that conference. Now, Navy, only 2 conference losses. If they get this win against Buffalo, they are 100% in play for that promotion up to the Mountain West. We'll check back in on that later, and we'll look at our conference standings and everything at the end. I'm recording this the day before advance because Sunday is Mother's Day. I'm probably not going to be around a whole heck of a lot, and I don't want to do it Monday morning. So here we go. Georgia Southern, 78 overall, 81 offense, 74 defense. Tavita win. The 92 overall quarterback only has mobile resistance, but has 84 speed, 90 XL, 97 throw power, 92 short, 92 medium, 81 deep. An incredibly good quarterback for an 81 overall offense, a 78 overall team. Then here at halfback, we are going to have Doug Heron, bronze shifty, 92 speed, because you do have the 88 overall, 90 speed Gideon. He does have downhill, elusive bruiser, but I think my guess would be the plan is to get Heron playing time, get him some XP since he's a star dev true freshman, and Gideon is going to be gone after this year, would be my assumption, and just get a little bit more speed out on the field there. Out wide receiver, we're going to have Jamichael Klutz, you dumb Klutz, double dip, 6'1", 96 speed. Jared Sharp, 6'1", press pro, 50-50, 93 speed. And then Tremaine Menges with recoup and 9, I don't know. This is definitely a made up name. I don't know. I can just say whatever I want. So we'll go with Menges. Recoup 91 speed. So very, very solid looking offense there between the quarterback, the halfback, and those top 3 receivers. A lot of threats just kind of everywhere, and a fantastic tight end. 80 overall, 85 speed. Matthew Bauman, the star dev sophomore. I think this is kind of a similar situation. We're just trying to get more XP for Bauman compared to DeMar Tonjes, even though he's a very solid tight end too. We will see if Georgia Southern's really going to be running too much tight end set. I'm trying to remember. I don't think Arkansas has a ton. but we will see. And there's going to be a lot of times in this game where I'm like, man, I should switch back to Arkansas, because we did run it a little bit, I think, in season 2. Big fan of the Arkansas playbook. Check out his offensive line here. So that left side's looking good. We got abilities on our left tackle and our left guard, but that is about it. Defensively, we're going to have a will linebacker playing left edge here. Steven Carswell with a blow up, a right edge. We are going to be starting Chet Stat. Yeah, guys, for sure in a fraternity of some kind. Defensive tackle, Workhorse and Hammer. Grip breaker, Workhorse and takedown on Isaac Lake, and then Workhorse on Dante. Sam linebacker, Mr. Ugo, 89 speed thumper, 6'1", 245 impact dev. That'll do. Even with no abilities. Very, very good linebacker there. And this is a solid one too. Eric Shaw, 6'4", 211 in impact dev. Redshirt freshman with 86 speed. Will linebacker is going to be Lee Remigio? Again, it doesn't matter. 70 overall, 89 speed. Corners, let's see. So Southern Miss might actually have the advantage here when it comes to their outside corners. Taller, faster, looks pretty good. We do have a bronze quick jump there on Jaden Boyette, maybe the brother of Stephon Boyette, Old Dominion's defensive tackle. And that is a touchdown for the Navy midshipmen. They are looking pretty good to get that win there. Free safeties me Quentin Shannon. I guess by the time we're done recording this, that game will be done, so we'll just know what happens at the end of this anyway. Strong safety, Spencer Peacock, 93 speed, 73 overall impact dev. That is how these teams are set up. That is how these teams are looking. Like we said, the offenses, it starts a little slow for Southern Miss, then they turn it on and it turns into an unbelievable ball game. Let's head down to Hattiesburg and get to the action. Let's get to it. As usual with these, we are going to watch the full first offensive drives of each team, then start jumping around a little bit. Not going to be too many jumps with these two offenses. This is all going to be from GMOS, Georgia Southern's perspective. So let's go ahead and get it rolling. He is going to be starting with the rock here. Buffalo, oh my goodness, hold on just a second. Let's flip this over here really quick. Buffalo returned the kickback for a touchdown and just got an interception with a minute and a half left in the second. We might have to take a break from our main game of the week to go look at this one if Buffalo can keep that up. Jay Breeze looking to get another conference win under his belt. But let's get back to our scheduled main event here. And Georgia Southern going into, looks like starting off in some of the gun doubles. That's my main reason for liking the Arkansas playbook. Gun doubles is just such a good formation, but Southern Miss are all over him on the run. Oh, I thought he was hitting him with the too small, but he was hitting him with a Hulk Hogan. They're trying to rev that crowd up early here. An early loss of 2. We're going to go to a tight end flat over to the short side, trying to get that ball to Bauman. Never a bad idea. Oh, I think we tried to actually throw that and just waited a second too long. I saw the user over there, kind of scares you off for a split second, but we could have gone to the tight end, and instead we tried to give it to Doug Heron, and he is the sacrificial lamb for us on that run. Takes it for a loss of 3, and it's an early 3rd and 15 for Georgia Southern. Let's see what GMOS is going to cook up. You're going to see me looking this way quite a bit because this is where Buffalo Navy is right over there. So I'm going to try to keep eyes on both here, and if something happens, try to keep you guys posted. So going with a little high-low, going to have triangle right over the middle. Surprised he held on to that one, but heck of an effort there. Number 83, that is Jamichael Klutz. Wasn't much of a klutz on that one. Able to hold on to that ball. Huge conversion there for GMOS early. That is something we're going to see GMOS doing quite a bit. Kind of utilize those streaks as clear outs. Sometimes on the opposite side, like we saw there with Bauman going downfield. Sometimes even on the same side. Well, oh, and then an RPO to number 9. Going to take it. Tremaine Menges. Sounds like a disease you'd get from kissing your cousin or something, but he is going to take that one in. Georgia Southern from the 3rd and 15, 2 plays later. Touchdown for the Eagles. And let's see how the Golden Eagles will respond. But yeah, GMOS will see him use the streak either on the opposite side like we saw there to open up that post underneath, or we'll see it if he's got a trip side, the outside slot receiver. So the second one in line, like to the left in this example, will be on a streak, and then that outside receiver will be on a post. So you have the streak pushing everybody back, the post cuts right underneath it, leaves a good spot to try to go to fit that post in. So here comes Southern Miss in that veer and shoot, but Georgia Southern keeping the numbers in the box. We're not going to be able to run much there. We keep 3 over on the right too, so not really going to be able to just switch that to a screen or an RPO going out there. Pressure gets on in there. Just Kamario Taylor, not much, trying to throw one downfield there, but look at that big man. Oh my goodness. I do not want number 93 to be the one coming after me in that backfield. You know, 2nd and 10, Buffalo just threw an interception in the red zone there, 10 seconds left before half. Now Taylor, trying to use his legs and buy a little bit of time, throws back across his body and finds his guy James Napier somehow. An awful dicey throw there from Mr. Taylor. And we can see their season stats coming up on the board here now, how Taylor, why he's where he is in the Heisman race, which I just realized I forgot to show, is he will take off and run a lot, and that helps a ton in the Heisman, and it just helps your offense a ton, especially in a wide veer and shoot. Go with a 5 wide, go with that run right up the gut, something we've seen Vancy in Louisiana do quite a bit as well. That time taking it for 25. Taylor getting his team out of that early hole, just like we saw Georgia Southern do. It's gonna be a 1st and 10 for the Golden Eagles. Again, Georgia Southern just really clogging that middle, not giving him the numbers to even try a run, forcing Taylor to drop back to pass, go with an all go. Playmaker the halfback up and potentially had it, but that 3-man rush from Georgia Southern was coming in, and I thought that ended up a loss one. I'm surprised by that. I thought we were cutting, juking, jiving. Big man number 93, again, Timmy Fuller. Great name for a defensive tackle. I love that guy. All over Kamario Taylor, brings it down for a loss of 1, and technically that does count as a sack. So we're going double stack formation here. Now this is one I've never messed with in the veer and shoot playbooks. It just, my own brain can't fully comprehend what's happening there. So we'll see what Southern Miss is going to go to on this side. That's an awful long throw for Taylor, but he gets it to Josh Bethea just barely, but he picks up the 5 on that one. Going to be a 3rd and 6. Now going with a little bunch over to the short side here. I mean, you could maybe try an RPO out of this. I actually don't know. It might have been there. Going deep over the middle. What a ball by Taylor. Number 36, the user, G-Moss, was trying to drop back for that. I just realized we don't have the players' names on here. Give me just a second. There we go. Now we're ready. Number 36, the user defender there of GMOS, really, he was close. He tried to get back that. He saw that little Y trail combo cone with that drag and then the trail route underneath, but just was a little bit too deep. Taylor delivers one right on the money. Going RPO, read flat, 88. Oh my good lord. What was that hit? Is 88 okay? I think we need a doctor to go check on number 88. What was this? I think he... Oh no, he, teammate helped him up there. James Napier looked like he got knocked out cold on that. But he gets down to the 1 yard line, holds on to the ball. Good team effort, good team man. Now going with some goal line offense against a 3-down set, and somehow Taylor gets stuffed there. Yeah, go ahead, hurry up, keep him in that for sure. Trying to come mug the gap. Now this is going to be fine. So we haven't implemented the rule yet, but we are going to ban the doggy style defense, probably just for year 6. We'll do it in between seasons. But you can still come down, and I think mugging the gap like that is fine. He, wasn't no penetration. We're all good. And then Taylor is actually going to keep that one himself and take it in for the Southern Miss touchdown, 7-7. Let's do, oh, I saw Buffalo got an interception. I think they must have turned it right back over here at some point. Let's see. Can I do this quick and easy? There we go. So, oh, now the names are wrong, but whatever. So still 31-21 there for Navy. Now, GMOS with that ball back had a 1st and 20 thanks to a holding penalty, but Mr. Wynn able to convert that just fine. Now giving it to our halfback, Doug Herron, this time able to find some space. We saw him kind of struggle on those first carries. He's got 3 attempts for 1 yard with his longest rush of 6. Able to get some yardage there for Georgia Southern. 2nd and 4, still in the first quarter here. Go to some bunch strong nasty, going through some different formations of the Arkansas playbook. A little classic dagger. I think he runs dagger very similar to how I do. Yeah. So we have the streak here, a streak over here, a drag, and a post, and then sneak your halfback out on a streak over here. A lot of times if they're in drop zone, they're going to be following the drag, the post. This streak is going to leave your halfback wide open. If they're in man, you have the drag, the post, or one of these other streaks. So we'll see what he's going to look like here. Okay, so he didn't do it quite the same, just they were in a little different positions. The drag coming from the outside. Look at the moves of number 87. Look at him dancing. Look at Mr. Sharp. Looking sharp on the dance floor, cutting a rug out there and taking that one in. Salute to you, good sir. What an effort there by Jared Sharp for the Georgia Southern score. And oh my goodness, Navy just, I think Navy just did it again. They just did it again. Gave up another touchdown, and then their second, it might be more than second. I haven't been watching the whole thing, but I know it's at least their second kick return of the day, keeping Buffalo in that one. Oh, that's kind of a fun one we got going too. Now, Star looking to answer back here on a 1st and 10. We've hit a few RPOs. We've had a few things going for us on this drive. Taylor, it looks like we're not in that full wide set. We're going with a little tight open. A version of bench there, it looked like, and what a play. Shannon, isn't that a strong safety, if I remember correctly, of Georgia? You'd think I would. We just went over it. But I believe that's that strong safety of Georgia Southern made an unbelievable play on that corner route. Actually jumps in front of it and gets that turnover for Georgia Southern. Now this offense back on the field. Oh, well, I don't know what this shot is. What was that supposed to be? But Georgia Southern taking back over, now going to a bit of the pistol offense. Another good thing about Arkansas, I've never been the biggest pistol guy, but Arkansas is very, very good. And that is going to take us to the end of the 1st quarter. Another great formation in Arkansas here, tray open. I really might go back to Arkansas. I like this playbook a ton. I really, really like Arkansas's playbook. There's a few we're going to test. Let's see. We're dropping back to pass X. Yep. Got him on that deep crosser. Matthew Bauman. Well, beats his man. Tavita Win already at about 200 yards and 2 scores. Setting up a 1st and goal for Georgia Southern. But yeah, there's a few new playbooks I'm looking at for season 6. I'm not going to use a playbook for longer than 1 season. Even that's kind of pushing it. But I do like Washington State's a lot, so we've been sitting in that. We go for a run up the middle. Number 2 flies in there to shoot him. To shoot him. He did not shoot him. Authorities, please. Everybody stand down. There was no shots fired on that play. He shoots the gap and takes him down. Yeah, Arkansas, Auburn, and I'm debating on a 3rd one. There's a few different ones that might find their way back into the mix here. For season 6 for Old Dominion, we will see. So going to try to hit this tight end RPO. We got it. Oh, I wasn't sure. Defended on that outside receiver, but he held that block, and there is Tonjes, the tight end too of Georgia Southern, converting on that turnover, giving the Eagles a 14-point lead. The Southern Miss just got that ball back, but already facing a 4th and 9. Let's see what they are going to draw up here. Going to some empty. Got hard flats. We're sending a little cover 3 blitz here, it looks like, leaving just his user, the only one responsible, over the middle of the field. Let's see if that's where we are looking with Southern Miss. We are not. We're trying to push that deep, and the blitz gets home. Oh, I was really hoping that was 93, but number 92 and number 91. The whole effort there of the front of Georgia Southern. Southern Miss taking a... Oh, I'm guessing a mistake there from Star and Southern Miss taking that time out. But now Georgia Southern taking over at the 21. This is what I gave you fair warning in the intro. Southern Miss gets off to a slow start, but this is an unbelievable game. So here we go. Georgia Southern with that rock. Going to give it back to number 25. Doug Heron, seeing that shifty light up, cutting his way through the defense, picking up 8 yards for the right. I'm going to 100% call him the wrong thing at least one time. The Eagles versus the Golden Eagles. You're going to have to forgive me on that one. Go a little play action this time. Faking one to Heron. See if we got right over the middle. And we do. Matthew Bauman wide open. 8 for 8, 212 yards. Tavita Win living up to the hype so far in this one. That is going to be a 28-7 lead. Southern Miss, though, got it moving back to midfield. We will pop in one more just quick update here as Navy has started to run away with it from Buffalo a little bit. 52-28 now. Navy's defense forcing turnovers, getting things popping as we see another RPO by Southern Miss. So this is what they started doing that started kind of unlocking the offense a little bit. They were trying to push it downfield earlier in the game, trying somewhat to get Taylor's run game going. Just go to those RPOs. I know it's what gave me a ton of trouble against Vancy in Louisiana. His veer and shoot offense. It's just so annoying because your read key, like we see right there, like exactly what happened right here. I would bet this guy is a key of some sort. Of course, we can't fully see because we don't have Southern Miss's point of view, but I think that's why he bites inside. At least that's what At least in the 3-3-5, that's what it was. I'd assume it's the same in 3-3 stack. So he's going to bite inside, leave that RPO. So we're going to be seeing a lot of this from Southern Miss in an attempt to claw their way back in this one. Now, again, just going back, quick little RPO, quick little hitch. And really, what else is Southern Miss supposed to do here? Because Georgia Southern is really keeping the numbers in the box. Like, they're not really going to be able to get a run going against a defensive front like this. So going to those RPOs, going to those quick throws makes a ton of sense to me. Going back to the wide, now we go to some man coverage, which should, in theory, help with those RPOs, and just nowhere for Taylor to go. Is that big man 93? I hope it is. Chase him down, big man. No offense, Star and Southern Miss, but I love me big man making big plays. So if number 93 could have gotten in there and gotten a sack, I'd have been thrilled. I thought that was going to be an intentional grounding. We'll take an illegal man downfield. That'll be a 1st and 15 for Southern Miss. We come back in that gun wide, and now if we have an RPO over to that left, we do go with the RPO to the right and still find some space there for number 2, Terrell Luck, to at least pick up 9 yards, so from a 1st 15 to a 2nd and 6. But because of the specific man defense we called there, Little John was actually manned up to the slot on the left, and he was kind of in the box, which was given some room potentially if we wanted to go to that RPO over to that left-hand side. But now it is going to be a 2nd and 6. Sticking with the man blitz coming here, and again, like, you just can't run against this front, because really the veer and shoot, you want to be running the ball, but Georgia Southern has been doing a great job taking that away. But we go to a quick one to the flat, and Bethea, what fight by that young man. Hi, touchdown, Josh Bethea, touchdown, Southern Miss, back to a 14-point game. And oh, hold on a second, we're gonna be going for 2. The Wildcat Jumbo Trio. What in the world? I don't know if I've ever seen this formation in my life. And there goes Taylor, just gets a little speed burst to the outside, and he is in for 2. So it is a 13-point ball game. But again, GMOS and this Georgia Southern offense keeps it moving, keeps it pushing. We've skipped over a lot of the drags I talked about. There was actually one, I believe, the play beforehand here. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of this going around. And I don't know what exact defense Southern Miss is coming out in. It might be match. That's why it's giving up the drag so much, which would make sense. If we have a soft squat on that side, it's going to follow that vertical down the field compared to like a cloud flat who gives up on it eventually, or of course a hard flat that's going to stay down closer. So I love Georgia Southern. Just keep going to drags. If they're going to keep giving drags, keep throwing drags. You got X again. Or you had your halfback going the other way. I'm all about it. That's what we always do at Old Dominion. If you're going to give quick, easy throws underneath like that, we're going to take it every single time. And it's working well for Georgia Southern here in this one. Now this looks like it could be a little deeper threat. Oh no, we're going to hot route a few things. Again, having that clear out streak on our tight end. We're not even really ever looking to throw that to our tight end. Most, like 95% of the time. He's just there to push zones downfield and open up underneath them, just like what we saw right there. So you have the post coming from the left to the right, the streak on that tight end, not touchdown. First, I'm assuming it's a touchdown because I just see them coming out in field goal block here. Oh, it was almost actually worked really well. It almost worked incredibly well. But it's going to be Bauman yet again for the Georgia Southern touchdown, putting it back up 35 to 15, a 20-point lead heading into half. Well, potentially. And it turns out I did indeed speak too soon, because here comes Southern Miss, down by 20, a 2nd and 20. 13 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Going to some wide, 5 wide here, dropping back to pass. Got our slot on the right side, left wide open. I don't know if that was some match or something by Georgia Southern there, but the safety bit down, left number 2, and that is Taylor hitting almost like a little Victor. Well, I was going to say kind of like a Victor Cruz salsa there until he started his rodeo bit. But that is going to be a touchdown for Southern Miss. Are they going to go for 2 here again or just take their 1? But look at these 2 quarterbacks. Win 15 for 15, 287, 5 touchdowns in the first half. Kamario Taylor 15 for 20, 224, 3 touchdowns in the first half, and add in his rushing as well. These quarterbacks really putting on a show here under the lights in Hattiesburg. Shout out to Brett Favre. I'm sure he's somewhere stealing from the government and nodding in approval. So we do try to go for 2 there to our tight end on an RPO. Gets knocked down. I was gonna say let's take it to halftime, but who the heck knows at this point? let's just see what happens. Georgia Southern's gonna have one more play, one more shot for the end zone here. Coach wants him to take a knee. G-Moss has got some other ideas for the boys here. Gonna come Bunch Strong Nasty. See, what I do like about Bunch Strong Nasty, you're in that receiver over on the left is in a really good spot when he's on like those streaks, like he is in Dagger. He's gonna find a lot of good soft spots in the zone. Buffalo just scored, by the way, but they're losing by 100. They can find a lot better soft spots in a lot of zone coverage and a 0-man rush from Southern Miss. Another rule change we're going to have. It's not in place yet, so no problems for Southern Miss as of right now. But we will, probably starting in year 6, have a rule change if you have to rush at least 3. Just been seeing way too many people doing rush 0 and rush 1, and really drives me kind of crazy. So that is going to wrap up our first half here between Georgia Southern and Southern Miss. Golden Eagles, the Golden Eagles, Star and Southern Miss, seem to have really found something there in that second quarter. Got the offense moving. Just might be a little too little, a little too late with kind of the hole they dug themselves and how good the offense is of G-Moss and Georgia Southern. We've seen his star tight end Bauman reel in a few touchdowns. Wynn hasn't missed a pass yet. The guy's been unbelievable. But Kamario Taylor on the Southern Miss side has been living up to the hype here as well. So very exciting first half. We've got an incredibly exciting second half between these two squads. But let's take it over to our halftime highlights, which I actually have to get pulled up here and take a look at some of the other action that happened here in week 11. Let's throw it over to this side. Hey, how are ya? Starting with an American Conference clash, Army, 7-1, ranked number 13 in the country, undefeated in conference so far. And look at this guy, this halfback of Army, number 30. This guy is unbelievable. Just catches on the flat and just nobody's going to catch him. He's going to break tackles. He's going to take that one all the way in. For the touchdown, there's going to be a lot of saluting, not only with Georgia Southern, but of course with Army as well. But FIU coming in, punching back. Second and goal, 3.5 minutes left still in the first quarter here. Going to try to hit a little RPO over to the left. Defense nowhere to go. Looked like we potentially had an alley to get that run. We took one kind of step backwards there, but we're still able to get some yards, and we're going to hurry up here. We liked what we saw. Third and goal. Trying to tie this one up at 7 apiece are the Panthers. Dropping back to pass, staying in that split back. Look at this throw. Rolling out to the right. The left-handed quarterback. Looks like he might take off and run, but nope. Psych, we're going to go right to the back right corner of the end zone and find our man for the FIU touchdown. Of course, wearing their Vice jerseys. It's FIU. You expect Vice jerseys all the time. So now a 3rd and 20 for Army. They are up 14-7. First play in the second quarter here. A little stick and nod, and we find them right over the middle, just enough to pick up that Black Knights first down. And then on the very next play, who else but number 30 from Army? Going to take that on the RPO, quick cut out to the right, and nobody is going to catch him. And even if you do, you're not going to bring him down that easy. Number 30 takes it in for another Army touchdown. This guy. So 21-7. Army looking to extend this lead again here before half. And who else are we going to go to but number 30? Try to meet him at the 2-yard line. He's going to break 3 tackles and fight his way in there. Mr. Morgan Tracy. They cut it off before he saluted, kind of rude. But Army gets that win, gets to 8-1, 5-0 in the American Conference. Looking pretty good to earn that spot up. Speaking of which, in Conference USA, a huge game for conference standings as Hawaii comes into this one at, I believe, 3-1, same as Texas State. Both, well, I'll say both looking to earn that Mountain West promotion, but I don't know if Crayon Eater is. Here comes our newest Hawaii user, Sassy Spence, putting on an unbelievable season with these Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Just took them over. Nobody was using Hawaii. Good touchdown there by Crayon Eater to answer back. But we had nobody using Hawaii until he took them over. So they're like a 64 overall team, but he is battling with the boys. Texas State, though, up 14-7, a 4th and 3. Hawaii going to go for it. Go for that deep curl route. Curl routes incredibly good in the game this year. We'll jump ahead a little bit because we had the 2-minute warning, but that sets up a 1st and 10 for the Rainbow Warriors. Big man blitz. No, we're going to audible to some zone here on defense. That 2x2 set might be a spread slots close. He does actually use the Hawaii run and shoot playbook. We are going to go for a little mid-screen to number 81, and the blocking sets up beautifully. Rainbow Warriors in for that touchdown. Try to get the celebrations, but these guys aren't doing anything fun anyway. 14-14, minute left in the first half here. Rainbow the Rainbow Warriors. Rainbow is our San Diego State user. It confused me a little bit. Rainbow Warriors hitting a quick drag to that right side. Number 87 takes that one in. Hawaii from down 14-7, now up 21-14. Jump ahead, it's 24-21. Hawaii looking to add to their lead here, dropping back to pass, dropping way back to pass, chucking it deep downfield, finds that deep post, and look at number 80 breaking the tackles, juking his way inside for the Hawaii touchdown. Gives them that 2-score lead, and that is going to do it. Hawaii gets a huge win in San Marcos, 38-28. Now, Sam Houston, San Diego State in the Caleb Presley battle. The old tight end of Sam Houston transferred to San Diego State, and Woe Twice was taking it personal. Finds that RPO out to the left, bulldozes his way in. Some big men on the Sam Houston receiving core, and we will see right here, 14-10 lead for Sam Houston. Enrique Trayan. This guy he's like Nick Harbor. He's a better version of Nick Harbor. Just one-on-one, just throw it up to him. He's going to make that catch. He's going to take that in. He's going to hit the old Vince McMahon strut. Touchdown for Sam Houston. But Rainbow in San Diego State keeps fighting back here, down 28-10. 30 seconds left here in the first half. Can drop back to pass, find that drag right in that soft spot. Going to get cut down there at the 2-yard line, but we are going to hurry up. We're going to keep the pressure on this defense. We're going to try to make this much more manageable here heading into the second half. We're going to audible down to some pistol, and I believe our Heisman Trophy leader as of right now, Cortez Haddad, is going to take that run right up the middle. Again, gets his ankles cut out, but falls ass backwards into the end zone. Touchdown San Diego State. But here comes Sam Houston again, 28-17, a minute gone by in the second half. One-on-one with Enrique Trayan, you say. Don't mind if we do. Just lob it up to him. He's gonna go make a play. Him and number 30 on Army, absolute freaks. Hit the Heisman pose. Trayan trying to make a late statement, a late push for his own Heisman Trophy here this season as Sam Houston gets a win against San Diego State. Very weird game here between UTSA and Appalachian State in our Sun Belt Conference, but we'll throw the highlights in here. We couldn't fully capture a lot of the stuff that happened, but UTSA in on an early power read for that score. It is still 7-0 in the second half. A lot of turnovers, a lot of just weird stuff was going on in this one, but Rodinho and Appalachian State looking to tie it up here, dropping back to pass, finds eventually an awful tight window there, but we get it to our guy. Touchdown and injury there for UTSA. Never love to see that, but that is a touchdown for the Mountaineers. 7-7 into the fourth quarter. We go the Roadrunners with the Rock here. Great jersey matchup between these two teams, by the way, and look at this. What? Bounces off the tackle. The other guys just don't react at all. And he's going to take it all the way in for what ends up being the game-winning touchdown for the Roadrunners. They win that one 14-7. I don't know if we've had a game quite like that throughout this entire dynasty, but that is it for our halftime highlights here. We can take it back to our main event, Georgia Southern and Southern Miss in a wild second half. And it doesn't take long for Star and Southern Miss to cross the 50-yard line here. 38 seconds to be exact. Let's see what we are going to be going with. If we're focusing more on those RPOs, we are going to be doing some drop back passing. Really good user there by Georgia Southern. Just by the way, giving Taylor really nowhere to go. I thought maybe we were going to try something. We'll take 2 yards. But the user of GMOS, Georgia Southern, was following that drag over to the left and saw kind of that deeper dig coming back open over to the right, drops back, takes that away. Nowhere for Taylor to go. Just good defense there by Georgia Southern. So now is me some tight Y off, going away from our wide formation here. Little double mug on defense, double mug cover 3. Again, sending that cover 3 blitz shaded down. See how that is going to work out, because Southern Miss, they really haven't been attacking the middle of the field. So I like this idea from Georgia Southern. Make him kind of attack over the middle. We had that wheel route on the right. We go for the drag underneath. At least it's complete. At least we're able to get some yards there. It's going to set up a 3rd and 4. We're going to have a trips over to the right side. It is going to be just some mid blitz here from Georgia Southern, trusting in his boys in that sneaky little RPO to Napier. Sends him on that tight end streak on those RPOs. God, those are just so impossible to defend. Like, unless your user is there, especially if you're in something like mid blitz, then of course, if your user's the one on them. But even in zone, unless you're the one actually watching them, those pop RPOs, absolutely deadly. Southern Miss takes it in for the touchdown. Napier's been having himself a heck of a game here so far for the Golden Eagles. We are gonna just take our one and make it a 7-point game. And all of a sudden now, the Southern Miss team, they might be feeling a certain type of way. It was, what, 28-7, I believe, at one point. But now the Golden Eagles defense, they might get a little fired up. So they see their offense out there battling like they have been. We're going to send a heater on them on this play action. Somehow gets deflected out of the quarterback's hands and intercepted by number 30, who's going to take that in for a touchdown. I don't know if I've seen anything quite like this. Greg Craig gets that pick six for Southern Miss. But yeah, look at this. This wasn't like deflected. It literally just, he goes to throw it. It hits the head of this guy. It goes right into the arms of Greg Craig, who takes it in for 6 and ties us up at 35 apiece. Just like that. Unbelievable swing of events we've had in this game. And one play later, Georgia Southern's past the 50-yard line again. So Wynn is 16 for 17. His one incompletion was one defensive lineman hit the ball out of his hands with his head, and it ended up being a pick six. But hey, if you're Southern Miss, we'll take it however we can get it in a game like this. Now we're going to try to get that run game going a little bit again there with Doug Heron. I mean, his first 2 runs, not good. Outside of that, though, I feel like that run game's been working pretty well for Georgia Southern in this one. So that was a hot blitz on defense there, huh? And we were still able to run for 12 yards. Sure thing. Now a little Y sail, and again, watch the drags and flats, just wide open. We'll duck one down to Doug Heron and pick up another first down for Georgia Southern. Yeah, that Y sail, put a drag on your slot on the right, then you could have your halfback maybe not going to the flats because they kind of end up in the same spot there. It worked out that time. You could throw them on like a Texas route or something, but we'll see what else Georgia Southern's got cooked up here. Going to be a little read option. Keep it with Wynn. Yeah, look at that blocking. My goodness, the boys are battling for Tavita Wynn. Now, I don't know. I'm actually going to look really quick. Is Wynn in the Heisman race at all as of right now? If I look up our Heisman watch, we'll see it at the end here. No, he is not. Taylor is second behind Cortez Dodd as of right now in week 11. Georgia State running back Deshaun Reeder in 4th, and Enrique Trayan, that freak wide receiver from Sam Houston, is in 5th. So we're going to go back to an RPO, trying to hit Bauman again. Day Bao, unable to find any space on that one. It's going to be 2nd and goal. About 2.5 minutes left in our 3rd quarter here. Looks like a little mesh coming. We're going to be dropping everybody back into some zones. Finds the little spot route, sits still against the zone coverage. Salute to you, number 83, Jamichael Klutz. Back. I feel like we haven't called his name since that first play of the game, but makes a big move there for the Eagles, putting them back up by 7. Now we're at the point of the game. It's going to be some ping pong action between these two offenses. So 2nd and 3, Southern Miss going back to that RPO over to the left side. Number 23, the defense of Georgia Southern just, I don't know where he was going on that play, but it wasn't to make a tackle. That much I can tell you. Flies way behind the guy, then tries to chase him down from behind. Not going to happen with Josh Bethea. Going to take that one all the way down to Georgia Southern's 31-yard line. These RPOs of Southern Miss been absolutely cooking. His RPOs are pretty good in the game in general this year, and especially out of veer and shoot. Look at Taylor. Oh my goodness. He was going faster than his running back out there. Kamario Taylor puts on a speed boost right as he heads outside for that option. He's going to keep it himself and take it for 9. That's going to help your Heisman. 8 attempts, 49 yards, and a touchdown rush. Voters like that kind of stuff. Now we're going back to our Wildcat Jumbo Trio. That is Vernon Daly in the backfield, but he is still, what, 99 speed or something like that. Ooh, looked like we had a gap. I thought that might have been a Southern Miss touchdown. It is a first down at the very least. I am surprised we don't utilize, I'm surprised we don't utilize Daly more, but the way Georgia Southern's been playing defense, we haven't really had the opportunity to. Like, anytime we're coming out in these wide sets, they're still keeping the numbers in the box that we're just not able to run the ball. But we're finding different alternatives here, trying to go back to that RPO, and goes back up the seam to Napier. Again, just like how they just scored, was that in the first half? Napier on a little pop right up the seam. They all bite down, worried about that bubble. RPO leaves the tight end, streaking up the field. Touchdown. Southern Miss answers right back. It is 42-42. And now we'll jump to the start of the fourth quarter. Georgia Southern's got it right at midfield. 6 minutes to go in this ballgame. And we do 6-minute quarters. That was a league vote. Everybody decided they'd rather have 6 than 5. So here we are. We're going back to that Y sail play. Let's see if we're going to be looking for Bauman this time. We're stemming it down a little bit. Depends. Oh, yeah. Bauman cooked him. Tavita. Bauman cooked him. Tavita Win almost just cooked us. That could have been a touchdown with a good ball. You know, the pressure got to him a little bit. Throws it behind him. That was close to disaster. Now it's going to be 2nd and 10. We're going to set this play back up here. We've seen Georgia Southern run this a few times. The stadium pulse here in Hattiesburg, though, kind of getting to the best of Win. Able to get his hot routes off here. So we have that streak on the tight end. See if we're going to look for that post again. User defense all over him. We give up the underneath, but again, Win kind of just running for his life in that situation. Off his back foot, sails it over the head of his drag that was open again, but it's gonna be a 3rd and 10 now at the 54. Georgia Southern. Let's see, what are we gonna go to here? We haven't seen him called dagger in a little bit. That wouldn't surprise me here, but match typically, no, match leaves drags pretty wide open. It looks like we are, yes indeed, we are going back to dagger. So he does set it up just a little differently. Like we said, his outside receiver on the drag, the tight end on the post makes sense. Drag's wide open. It's just been such a constant in this game. It must have been match again there on the defense. We'll see if we're going to check. Yeah, cover 3 match really is going to struggle with those drags, especially with the solo side streak is going to push that zone back. We can see number 2 there at the last second. He's like, oh crap, and turns around and tries to get back down, to the flat. But he's a little too downfield for that. So now we're going to try to hit a crack toss, get outside. Love this call from Georgia Southern. Love it for Doug Heron. We've seen Southern Miss coming out in very condensed defenses, double mug, single mug, load mug, a lot of different things that has a lot of guys in the box, and having that crack toss is a great answer back for that. So Doug Heron's going to take that one. Started with, 2 attempts for -5 yards, now at 10 for about 50. So the run game has been much more steady for Georgia Southern here, which obviously a great benefit for the offense as a whole. So Tavita Win, now we're going to be coming back out and tray open back to, gosh, what is the name of this play? I don't remember. It's a really good play, though. We're going to go back to the drag, and we had defense for it that time. Good job. Good knockout. Back to bunch. Let's see if we're just going back to dagger, or if we've got anything else out of bunch. No, back to dagger. So we've only seen dagger and crack toss out of here, and the drag wide open right over the middle again. That time to number 87, Gerard Sharp. Going to be able to pick up 9 on that. Is Tavita Win 353, 6 touchdowns, and 1 kind of crazy interception. It's hard to put too much on Win, that interception that he threw in this one. So 3rd and 1, what are the Eagles going to go to here? I mean, I would just be throwing drags. Shark halfback wheel, classic, just a great play. Be looking for that drag here again. You potentially have it. Ooh, good hands by your wide receiver there to hold on to that one. I believe that was Menges. It was indeed. Gets decent leverage on that. I think we might have had our tight end, but I don't know if we had time to throw our tight end on that. So we take our first down, a 1st and 10 at the 11. Under 5 minutes ago, we're going to try to sneak an RPO in there, but it's going to be some man defense. We're not able to do it. Going to have to give it up the gut to Doug Heron. Finds nowhere to go up the, well, let me correct myself. He found 1 yard to go up the middle. It's going to be a 2nd and 9. Okay, now we're seeing a different play out of this bunch. We're seeing Y trail, another classic bunch staple though. Let's see if we're going to have defense for this drag route. Really, if I'm Georgia Southern here, I'm only looking at that drag. I see him come down with his user there. We'll see if he's going to stick on a drag. Whoa. Whoa. I'm guessing that was just a wrong button press. We have X wide open. Yeah, I'm guessing that was meant to go to X. We hit the wrong button. It floats to circle and somehow falls down incomplete. Lucky break there for Georgia Southern. But Southern Miss has been guarding the drags a little bit better here, so at least so far. Now we see something we like here. We're going... oh gosh, that was a weird time to pause. Going back to dagger and quick fire in one to Matthew Bauman. I paused at a weird time, so let's just back up. Let's back up all the way here and see this whole thing set up here. Because at first it looked like he was going double streaks here, but maybe it was just a stadium pulse thing. Because yeah, we had double streaks for a second. And then I think we go back to our normal dagger with a post there on X. And right as he breaks past that inside, Bauman going to reel it in. 7 touchdowns on the day for Tavita to win. And that's what, 3 for Bauman. That's going to be 49-42. And yet again, it's not going to take Southern Miss long to get this ball back into scoring range. Go back to wide double flex. So Georgia Southern going to some 6-1, which I don't mind against a veer and shoot at all. I actually like this play specifically quite a bit against a veer and shoot. But this hard flat, we have to move him. He's got to go. You have to like click onto him and move him outside, or he's going to bite inside on this RPO. Spoiler alert, an RPO is coming. Linebacker bites inside. We're able to get it back to Bethea. Definitely been outside of probably Kamario Taylor. Bethea has definitely been the #1 guy on the Southern Miss offense. We can see why he is second place in that Heisman Trophy voting. Nobody out there for Bethea. Takes it to the 41-yard line. Less than 4 minutes to go, and just an unbelievable game between these two. Now it is going to be a 1st and 10 at Georgia Southern's 41-yard line. We got a flat over on the wrong side. We're going to try to get that screen. We got some big boys out in front. Can number 4 make some moves? Vernon Daly. Love seeing us try to get him the ball in space here, even if we're not going to be able to run, which we haven't really been able to because of Georgia Southern's defense. If we can find a way to get that ball to Vernon Daly, I love it. Get it out to him on a screen there, and he picks up about 15 yards. It's going to be ball at the 27, going back to that 5 wide. We saw him hit a bomb out of this 5 wide earlier. Obviously a little close to do that now. It's going to be a shaded down cover 4 from Georgia Southern. Good defense here. Yeah, don't really see anywhere to go. I have to send him after Taylor. Taylor tries to take off, still gets another 2 yards on that one. Going to be staying in that 5 wide though. And really with a lot of the defense we've seen Georgia Southern do, we're going to try to get a quarterback run in there with Taylor. But a lot of Georgia Southern's defense, they've been much more focused on the outside, and over the middle it's been a lot of shaded down cover 4. We've seen a lot of cover 3 blitzes, which is 1 hook going over the middle, which isn't a bad idea against a veer and shoot. It's just those RPOs those ones going to the outside we have not been on, which I think is a read key thing if memory serves me correctly. So we're gonna have a bunch over to the short side here. Daly in the backfield with Taylor, a big 3rd and 6, going back to their own little Y trail, and I think we had a little out route over on the left. Beautiful call against a shaded down cover 4. That outside quarter is never going to react to that in time. Great find, and who else but Josh Bethea for the Southern Miss offense. That guy has been Mr. Everything for the Golden Eagles. Down to almost the 2-minute warning. Let's see if we're going to snap one off here. We are indeed. We're going to try to go to an RPO. Can we get outside? Not quite. Little like motion RPO out to the right. Look at Taylor, 416 passing, 53 rushing, 5 total touchdowns. Man has been, him and Bethea, been carrying the load here for Southern Miss. They're going to have some sore backs after this one, and not because of the doggy style defense. So 2nd and goal at the 4. See what Southern Miss is going to come out in. See what Georgia Southern is going to do. 6-1 down here. I don't hate it. Again, though, we have to be very cautious of moving our linebacker out. This linebacker right here, we got to move him out to even give him a shot at playing an RPO over to the left. That was go for a quick curl over to the left, and I thought that was a touchdown, but instead he is down at the 1. So it's gonna be a 3rd and goal. Ball at the 1 yard. I don't know how that wasn't a touchdown. Frank Adebali with that catch. We're going to try probably another quarterback sneak, try to get another touchdown for Taylor. 6-1's going to have trouble with that, and they do indeed. Taylor takes it in on the QB sneak. He's going to salute right back at you. Touchdown. Southern Miss tie us up at 49 with 1:20 to go. And from here, we will just watch the rest of this one. So G-Moss with the ball, 49-49, 80 seconds left. We're going to hit a little screen of our own. Good job clicking on to Escoval, Michael Escoval, to go and force him out of bounds there. Really now, if we're Georgia Southern, you got 1:17, you got 3 timeouts. You don't need to go that far to get into field goal range. The world is your oyster in this situation. Call screens, you can call runs, you can call whatever you want. We are going to call dagger, though, which makes sense because it has been a pretty dang good play for Georgia Southern so far. And the drag. Just, God. Again, nothing personal against Star and Southern Miss. He played a fantastic game, but the drag routes are just driving me crazy. No, 1st and 10 at the 45. Not sure Georgia Southern's kicker situation here. We're going back to really, I mean, from what we've seen from Georgia Southern, Southern Miss defense, he's trying to let him score here. He's clicking on, like dragging him back. But really, so we go to a big man blitz here, probably just mid blitz. And Georgia Southern, we see anytime they've been in this formation, it's been this play. It's been, we streak this tight end, we put a drag over here on circle, we have the post over here on triangle, and really we're looking for that post, as we've seen throughout this game. And we go with the man coverage here, and it's even thrown behind him a little bit, and it almost helped out Georgia Southern a little, kind of dumbed out the defense a little bit. 83 is going to take it and get down. Smart move there. Southern Miss, we want him to score in that situation. G-Moss a little too smart for that. He's going to take that and get down. And from here, Southern Miss really wants Georgia Southern to score. So much so, in fact, they come out in field goal block against Trips. And please throw this ball. Please get a touchdown on us somehow, some way. And they're going to do it again here on 2nd down. And instead, it's just going to be a slip screen. We'll get it out to Heron. He's going to pick up that 1st down. And again, smart. Just go down. With the way defenses have been in this game, very smart move by Georgia Southern, and they are going to let this time run down, take a timeout, set up for a game-winning field goal attempt here with 3 seconds left. Ball at the 5-yard line, 22-yard kick, pretty much right in the middle. You'd wish your Stadium Pulse was reacting a little bit more here if you're Southern Miss and try to hurt the kicker at that point. Why the heck not? But the kick is up, the kick is good, and Georgia Southern gets the unbelievable win there, 52-49, 101 points, 1,023 yards, if my math is correct, between these two squads. Just what a show these two put on for the Sun Belt, for both of their universities. Take a look at the player stats in this one. Tavita Wynn goes for 440 yards, 7 touchdowns, 27 for 32. That one interception, again, that just hit off the defensive lineman's head somehow and got taken back for a score. Unbelievable game from him. Doug Heron certainly chipped in, especially in that second half. We saw that run game get going a little bit more for Georgia Southern. Ends up at 13 for 54, 19 yards after contact, 14 for the longest run. No broken tackles or anything, so I don't know how you have 19 yards after contact with no broken tackles, but sure. Move on. Receiving wise, Jamichael Klutz, 7 for 130 and a score. Matthew Bauman, Bao, the tight end for Georgia Southern, 9 for 119 and 3 touchdowns on the day. This is what we said in the intro, that Georgia Southern is going to spread. Georgia Southern is really giving me a hard time. Georgia Southern is going to spread this ball around. 1 touchdown for Klutz, 3 for Bauman, 1 for Sharp, 1 for Menges, 1 for Tonjes too, the backup tight end, getting in on the fun. And let's check out Southern Miss there. Taylor, 419, 4 touchdowns. Did take 1 sack, but 27 for 32. He goes for 84%. You can't imagine this is going to hurt his Heisman a whole heck of a lot, especially with 11 carries for 54 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't think win-loss really matters a ton when it comes to the Heisman in this game. Receiving wise, Josh Bethea, guy was an absolute monster for the Golden Eagles, 9 for 119 and a score. Mr. Luck gets 4 for 116 and a score. Napier, the good tight end battle between these two teams, 5 for 103 and 2 touchdowns. So again, fantastic game. GG's to G-Moss, GG's to Star. Let's take a quick look at, as of now, everything that's happened in week 11. In the top conference, our Mountain West, we got Louisiana got a nice win there against Oregon State, 45-0. We unfortunately took a loss to JMU, but I still saw some things we liked in this game. I did. As crazy it may sound. Rice gets a CPU win against Notre Dame, 37-34. Notre Dame, always an incredibly difficult CPU opponent. And Utah State and Tulsa, unfortunately, these guys were not able to schedule the time to play. This one is going to be a forced sim, though, between the two 99 overall squads in the Mountain West. Conference USA, UAB and North Texas, I believe, are playing later tonight, so we'll see what ends up happening there. Georgia State and Bowling Green. Georgia State is going to get a force win in that one. Navy ended up getting the win, 66-35. And Hawaii got a massive win against Texas State there. Down to our Silver Conference, the American Army beats FIU 42-29. UNLV giving another forced loss, this time to USF, who will get the win this week. And Sam Houston takes down San Diego State. We'll talk about conference standings here in just a second. The Sun Belt, Temple and Fresno, 21-18. And this was a big game for a few reasons. We didn't have any video of it because neither of these guys stream. Another thing that's going to change for next season. But again, talk about that when we get to conference standings. UTSA, another big win against App State, 14-7. Washington State handles Memphis 43-10. Big miscommunication in this game in the game chat. They played early on Friday. And I was actually in a work meeting at the time, and then afterwards I went through and read their game chat, and there was some fire getting thrown back between these boys. All just a big misunderstanding they came to. They're all good now as far as I know. But a big win for the Cougars there in Washington, in Pullman, in Washington State. And Georgia Southern gets a 52-49 win in the Sun Belt. So let's take a quick look at our conference standings, and then we can head on out of here. Of course, these are going to be a little bit jumbled up right now just because of the results of this week. But in the Mountain West, we got 4-1 Louisiana and James Madison. We will see what ends up happening with Utah State. 2 loss teams. We got Old Dominion as of now, Tulsa. We'll see what ends up happening with them and Utah State. 2-3 Toledo, who's on bye this week. Oregon State at 1-4, Rice at 0-5. So Oregon State is going to be playing Toledo next week in a potential loser leaves town match. Classic wrestling staple might have found its way here to the OMT Dynasty. Of course, they'd still have 1 week after that. Things could still change, but if Oregon State gets that win, they'd be at 2-4. Toledo would be at 2-4. Be kind of fun. It'd be kind of fun. So that's our Platinum Conference. The bottom 2 are going to be moving down to our Gold Conference, which is Conference USA. 1 loss teams. Now we've got Georgia State and Hawaii. 4-6 overall, but 4-1 in conference. Their out of conference was very difficult. They took on at San Diego State, at Colorado State, James Madison, Navy. Well, actually, Navy was a conference game that they got a win over our previous Navy user, 28-25. Then some more out of conference. Dropped to Sam Houston, dropped to Washington State, back to Conference USA, took down Buffalo, lost to UAB, but then take down North Texas, take down Texas State, and got themselves in a very good spot to potentially earn that promotion up to the Mountain West next year. But still a couple games to play there. Georgia State's going to get the forced win this week, so they will be at 4-1. Right behind them, though, Texas State at 3-2, but they have lost to Hawaii, and I don't know if they have played Georgia State yet. I don't believe they have. Last game of the season against Georgia State. That one's looming large coming up soon here. Navy sitting at 3-2 in conference as well. Our new user, Shan, came in and has gone 2-0 with wins against Georgia State and Buffalo. We still got North Texas and UAB, then an out-of-conference game against Army to wrap up the season. It's kind of in Shan's hands here a little bit. Considering Hawaii still has to play Georgia State, one of those two is going to get down to 2 losses. We still have Bowling Green, but they are given the forced loss this week, so they will be at 2-3. And then for the bottom 2, we got Buffalo at 1-4. UAB is going to be at either 2-3 or 1-4. We'll see how their game goes against North Texas, because that is going to be the same kind of thing. Actually, kind of a big game in terms of who might get relegated down to our American Conference. We have Army 8-1 overall, 5-0 in conference. Whoever it was that beat Army, they must be an unbelievable squad. I mean, must be just a team of giants. And oh, would you look at that? It's Old Dominion. Oh, who knew? Who knew? Shout out to ODU. But Army doing fantastic so far this season. Ranked number 13 in the country, up to an 83 overall. Very impressive job Timeless Raven has done there with the Black Knights. Right behind him, ECU at 4-1. Sam Houston at 4-1. Colorado State waiting in the wings in case one of those 2 teams stumble. I do think it would kind of take a miracle at this point for Colorado State to find their way in, but you never know. Bottom 2, going to be FIU and UNLV from the looks of it, who will be moving down to our Sun Belt Conference, where this has a lot of potential coming into the final weeks here. Georgia Southern, they're looking great, 9-1 overall, 5-0 in conference. The last 2 games they have got against UTSA and Appalachian State. Not going to be super easy for them. UTSA right now at 3-2 in conference. You got Washington State at 4-1, Temple at 2-3, Fresno State with their win against Temple also at 2-3. Washington State's last 2 games are against Temple and Fresno State. So if the Cougs manage to drop those 2 games, it could all come down to the last week. There could be 1,000 different scenarios of how this conference could play out. There's nowhere to go down, so it doesn't really matter if you finish in the last 2. But when it comes to the top 2, huge game next week between Washington State and Temple. If Caleb, the Cougars win that one, it's pretty much done. It's pretty much over. But if they do manage to lose, we've got a lot of fun possibilities in store for the Sun Belt. So that's how everything is looking for the most part. Again, I had to record this one just a little bit early. But yeah, that's how everything's mostly looking here in week 11 of the OMT Online Dynasty. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Shout out Prince William, looking as studly as ever. I will see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy.